Amateur Television Society net. On the 08 machine, I'm Dave KD7CY from the Western Washington Amateur Television Society. It's a group of amateur radio enthusiasts that take to the airways with fast scan television. We have a repeater located up on Cougar Mountain. We transmit on 70 centimeters. It's a crossband repeater and spits out images at 1.2 gigahertz. To find out more about the Western Washington Amateur Television Society, Google WW7ATS. That's Google WW7ATS. That will take you to our homepage where you can find out more about our group, find out frequencies that we transmit on, and also there is a link that takes you to YouTube where we stream live. Our net's held on Wednesdays and Saturdays between 8 and 9 o'clock. Also, we'd like to thank the SeaTac Repeater Association for allowing us to use WW7STR's repeater 14708 with a tone of 103.5 for our voice transmissions during our video nets. So with that, I'll pause in case anybody has emergency traffic or needs to make a contact with someone on the 08 machine before our net gets fully underway. Again, this is Dave, KD7CYM, pausing. Hearing now and again, this is the Western Washington Amateur Television Society. I'm Dave, KD7CYM. So far, checked in via video link to our net this evening is Ron, KD7QKU, Bob, K9PQ, Richard, K7ITX, Jim, N7QO, James, WU7N, and myself, Dave, KD7CYM. Is there anybody else that would like to check into the net this evening? Not hearing any. Let's go up to Ron, KD7QKU. I don't know what you said, Dave. QKU, go ahead. What you said, go ahead. Can you repeat it, please? We're going to Ron, KD7QKU in Tacoma for the net. I heard that. Well, thank you, Dave. This is Ron, KD7QKU. Well, I don't feel very good tonight, you guys, so I'm not going to talk very much. Joanne's been sick for a week. I don't know, she had the flu or something. She's probably sicker than I've ever seen her with a cold or anything. It's been probably 2, almost 3 days in bed. Before that, she was just laying around. Yesterday, she sat up and slept in the recliner all day. Today, she ate scrambled eggs. She ate breakfast. And then I went over to Kentucky Fried Chicken and got 2 chicken dinners. I'd made a big pot of beans, chili beans on, I don't know, Thursday or Friday, so I've been eating beans lunch and dinner for about 4 days, and I'm sick of beans. So anyway, that's it for now. Back to net, KD7QKU.
Ron left a big important part of his story. He forgot a big part of his story. I want to know about the coleslaw. Can you hear me, Ron?
Sounding terrible, Richard, when you talk on your radio. It's feeding back through the computer. I guess I'll have to turn my computer down. I was going to save that story for next time. So I'll tell it next round. Okay, there's a pause on Ron. Let's to Bob, K9PQ.
I might have to help Lee if he can't get in. So, all right, K7ATS back to net control.
Okay, Dave sent it to me, so I'm going to go ahead and take my turn. Let me switch in my video here. There we go. That should get me. So, well, good evening, everybody. Well, I'm real sorry to hear about the sickness there. A good friend of mine, one of my gaming friends, has COVID. His daughter brought it home from school, so I think I mentioned this on the net before, but I've known many more people to get COVID personally in the last like 2 or 3 months than in all of the 2 or 2+ years before that. So I don't know if it's coincidence, but it's a very weird phenomenon, and I sort of chalk it up a little bit to people are thinking, okay, we can start getting out and wearing masks less and things like that. I don't think that's the case with this friend of mine, but when you got family, there's a kid in school, there's not a lot you can do to avoid getting things. So anyway, he's doing okay. It's like a bad cold for him, like it is for a lot of people that are vaccinated, and so it's not too bad. And I guess that'll be good to start with. Send it back to net. K9PQ.
PQ, also the net recognizes Lee and 7KC has joined, so now let's go to Richard, K7ITX.
Lee checking on echoing, so we'll keep our fingers crossed that that's working tonight. So, hello there, Lee, and oh gosh, Bob, Sparky looked really cool in that picture. Bright-eyed, bushy-tailed, so to speak. He certainly doesn't. I guess Sparky's a boy, but whatever Sparky is, girl or boy, it certainly didn't look like he has COVID in that picture. I haven't heard of cats getting it anyway. And oh yeah, no, Ron and I were talking earlier, and he told a story that I thought for sure he would have told the first round, because then I could have, piled on, but whatever, so we'll see what happens. I was just asking, I remember too talking to Ron that I told you guys that I had just gave up totally on the idea of getting a transplant, lung transplant, because I'll be 70 years old, and the deadline in the University of Washington is 70, but I don't know, I checked with Phoenix, and they're gonna give me a second opinion on what I have that I haven't gotten yet. So I think can't complain about a second opinion, especially when I didn't have to do much to get it, or hopefully we'll get it shortly, because they did call me back and we'll need to expect a call from someone to arrange a schedule for a consultation. So that tells me they've been looking at something. So this is K7ITX, back to net control.
7ITX, let's go to Jim. M7QO in Covington.
7QO, thank you, Dave. Good evening, everyone. Wow. Ron, I hope you and Joanne get better soon. To go a week without feeling badly, that's pretty awful. I made a doctor appointment last month, and it's like a 4 to 5 week delay for me to get to see a doctor. Fortunately, I'm not terribly sick, at least not yet, but holy cow. Good luck getting to see a doctor, Ron. Bob, I agree. Unfortunately, this virus is not over. I also know a couple of people who got COVID recently. Although I do know far more over the past, if you do like a 2-year look back, a whole lot more during that time period. And also I know a number of people who have died over that time period, unfortunately. Dick, lung transplant. My goodness, I either never knew or I forgot that you were looking for a new lung. Good luck on that. I don't know about the age. Maybe I don't know. I'll keep my fingers crossed on that. And Lee, I see you out there. Good to see you. Let's see, what other comments can I make here? Oh, my 1.2 gigahertz downlink is really lousy tonight. Not a lot of definition at all, but it's working anyway, so that's something. Back to you, Dave, and 7QO.
This is the Western Washington Amateur Television Society Net on the 08 machine. I'm Dave, KD7CYM. So let's go to James, WU7N.
Good evening. We'll see how this works, because I'm going to start moving around and see what happens on 1.2 gigahertz. Because on the digital channel, everybody's frozen. But Bob said that it could be just me. Well, that's pretty good response time. I see myself moving on 1.2. I'm having the same experience as Jim is having. I think we have wind and weather coming in tonight. That's become my most accurate indicator of that. Because I have a color signal, but I've got a lot of coming and going. It's not the worst it's ever been. I give it about every, 2 or 3 seconds. There's a roll bar or a white bar or loses sync or something happens there. So anyway, that's the video signal report off the mountain. And Ron, I'm very sorry to hear that Joanna's not feeling well. This does seem to be the season for that. I hope she gets better soon. I think the hospitals are actually dealing with more of a problem right now than they have in a long time, because they got 3 things happening at the same time. You got the influenza, you have some COVID, and then you have the respiratory syncytial virus, the RSV, which is affecting kids. And I heard one pediatric hospital in Seattle is absolutely overwhelmed. They have no room in the inn. They're transferring to other places now. So we are in for an interesting winter here ahead of us, I think. So, anyway, I too, Bob, that was a cute picture of your cat, I think hiding in a roll of duct tape. I don't know why, but somehow a cat around duct tape, seeing what they do with toilet tissue, just sounds like a bad idea, but maybe I'm not a cat owner right now. So anyway, with that, let me go ahead and turn it back at 13 minutes after the hour to Dave, KD7ZYM, our net control. My name is James, WU7N in Northeast Bellevue.
WU7N, this is Dave, KD7ZYM in beautiful Lake City. Well, this is officially Pearl Harbor Remembrance Day. I don't think anybody on our net was maybe just exposed as toddlers or don't remember too much about what happened on Pearl Harbor Day, but this is something to remember that 81 years ago. And let's see, other notable things to talk about is 43 degrees here in Lake City and not raining this evening, so that's nice, but it's most of the snow has melted away locally. And let's see, other note, ham radio I think is going to be more active at Costco. They have ceased selling cell phones. The party available that brought cell phone sales to Costco is no longer in business, so
going on. Let's see. Speaking of Costco, I tried their tamales, and I've got to say, I do have a wonderful indigestion thing going on right now after having the Costco tamales for dinner. So, pardon me if I look a little green around the gills, but I'm sure this will pass, or something will pass, let's say. This is Dave, KD7ZYM in Lake City. So let's go back up to Ron, KD7QKU. I hope he's feeling a little better.
Thank you again, Dave, and good evening again to the group KD7QKU. Well, I'll tell you the story that Richard wanted me to tell. So I'm feeling pretty miserable. I didn't really want to cook anything, and I asked Joanne if I went over and got Kentucky chicken, if she would eat it. She said yes. Her appetite's a little bitter. I made her an omelet this morning, and she had chicken noodle soup for lunch. So anyway, I go over to KFC and I get the 3-piece dinners, and it has, coleslaw and gravy and potatoes and biscuit and, of course, chicken. And I like their coleslaw. So anyway, we have dinner, and there was quite a bit of coleslaw left. So I'm going to put the container in the refrigerator. And I must have bumped something anyway and knocked the container over upside down. And it flew all over the inside of the refrigerator. Juice and all on the wall into the tubs down below. So I had to take most of the stuff out of the refrigerator, clean off the glass shells, and take the things out the bottom, clean them out. Oh, I'm telling you, I could have threw it all through the patio door. I just felt like shit, And I just did not want to do that. Of course, Joanne wasn't up to helping me, so she just sat there and watched me, I finally got it cleaned up pretty good. It's going to have to be done over again sometime. But that's the story Richard wanted me to tell. So you got my story, Richard. Coleslaw all over the inside of the refrigerator and the juice. So back to that KD7QKU.
QKU. Well, let's go after Lee Bond in 7KC in Port Angeles with his nice glasses on.
Okay. Can you hear me okay? Oh, good, okay. Well, good. Well, good evening to you guys, and Jim also over at Covington. Yeah, nice to see you tonight. Lee in 7KC in Port Angeles here. I've got my yellow driving glasses on because I'm telling you, I can hardly stand to look at a computer screen. I can go out for a walk or I can drive because I can see distance. But I don't have a single pair of glasses here that will service me, even the readers, for doing anything up close. It's just been awful, actually. So I'm still probably a month away from getting new glasses. So I just have to put up with it. Richard, sorry, talk about lung transplant. Holy smokes. I hope it doesn't come to that. Pearl Harbor Day, yes, I was actually born before Pearl Harbor, but not just 8 months. Ron's the old man, I think, of the group here. And, of course, I don't remember anything about it. But I have been to Pearl Harbor twice in the Navy. Last time was like in 1963, so it's a while ago. And, the ship was right in Pearl Harbor there, and we went over and took a look at, I guess it's the Arizona that's on the bottom there and whatnot. And, pretty awful. We lost all of our power here. About a third of Port Angeles this morning went down for about an hour and 15 minutes. And it turns out that a bird flew into some power lines someplace, and they were about an hour and 15 minutes. We got it working again. And so forth. I'm down to 13 seconds, so I better quit, Dave. Anyway, yeah, well, I've got another week of drops to do in my left eye, and then I'll be over that, but I don't know. I'll be so glad to get glasses so I can see again. Back to you, Dave. This is 7KC, Lily, Port Angeles.
I'm another ID. This is the Western Washington Amateur Television Society. Net on the 08 machine. I'm Dave, KD7ZYM. I'll pause in case anybody wishes to join us for a few seconds here. Hearing none, again, this is the Western Washington Amateur Television Society Net. I'm Dave, KD7ZYM. Well, let's go to Bothell Bob, K9PQ.
Okay, hey guys, well I changed the background picture. It is now showing, I see a little bit of the green screen leaking through, but anyway, it's showing the top of our repeater antenna mast with some antennas up there, some of which are ours. I don't remember what's what. I'm sure there are other people that can identify them, yeah, I was sort of sifting through a lot of photos to try and find a good background picture, and I'm afraid I didn't take notes of this last go-around, but I did catch that Lee is still, I guess, still recovering from the eye operation or the eye treatment that you got, and I hope that continues to go well, I did hear what Richard, you were saying about being on the very old side for the lung transplant. That's a tough choice to have to make, but I just wish you the best. Anyway, not a lot going on around here of note, I would say. I'm trying to think of anything new. I do my radio theater stuff, and maybe I'll show that off next. I've got a special microphone on a boom that I do for that, and it's I think you guys would be interested in the technology behind it, because the high-speed internet allows it to happen, but it's more than just that. In order to get get all of us in at the same time, there's some very special software out there that the guy who runs the operation uses. So anyway, I can go into that more next time around. I'll send it back to net, K9PQ.
Thank you. Let's go to Richard, K7ITX in Kent.
Bob, gee whiz, that green screen is great. I don't have one, you know what I have, but, well, wait a minute, I guess I could pretend this is a green screen. Now that's not a cat, that's a dog. Kind of giving me some trouble here. Well, I got it, oh, thank you so much. This is I just fell asleep. I should have, it's so easy. You start listening to people's stories and stuff, and when in fact I shouldn't be listening. I should be queuing up the next video for our fans on YouTube. And we do have, I saw, I don't know, 45 subscribers to our channel. So that kind of blew my mind a little bit when I saw that. There's more. I don't see 45 here, so I mean, there's someone out there that likes us. And we don't even get a check from YouTube either. So that's okay. It's been really interesting to see these YouTube people just come out of the woodwork, and especially the poor guys that have literally escaped from Russia. That's what they say. That's what they call it. And so they're making some coinage, telling their story. It's pretty weird. Let's see. And then the stories that we just had. Lee, oh my God. No, you'll kind of like Debbie, the YL with, no, it's totally, I mean, she's had her eye issues. I think I described how she had the macular hole, but she's recovering from a thumb surgery, and, you know, that's taken the best part of a month and a half, you know, the whole process, or maybe even 2 months if you throw in surgery to boot. So, yeah, no, and it seems like it just takes a while for older folks to heal. So, right now, as I kind of look around and do a quick little survey, it just seems like our two youngest people, Dave Mann and I guess James and Bellevue, he didn't sound sick, so those two guys, but the rest of us, I don't know. Right now, what can you say? It is what it is. K7ATS, back to that control.
7ITX, Richard, thanks for that. Well, let's move down the list to Jim, N7QO.
N7QO, thank you, Dave. Yeah, roger that, Dick. We definitely, there's Lee styling a hat. We definitely don't heal as quickly as we used to. I am truly surprised at the number of people I know who are not feeling well at this point in time. Lee, about a month away from getting your glasses there. Wow. I know that they probably delayed removal of at least that one cataract a little bit too long. Sorry about that. Hang in there. Ron, coleslaw all over the refrigerator. Man, I feel for you. I'm sure that's exactly what you wanted to be doing at this point in time. Dave, Costco tamales, note to self, I better not buy them. Yeah, you'll be passing something one way or another. Just bear with it. And Costco no longer selling cell phones? My goodness, that's un-American. I've got I have the need for a new phone probably in another year or so, I'm guessing. I'll have to try to look elsewhere unless they resume sales somehow. Thank you for mentioning that anyway. My wife might want to think about getting hers replaced a little bit sooner, unfortunately. But we'll see what happens. KD7ZYM and 7QO.
7QO, and I get a quick ID here again. This is the Western Washington Amateur Television Society net on the 08 machine. I'm Dave, KD7ZYM. So let's go to James, WU7N.
Well, Dave, Costco tamales, I'll make a note of that. Remember, it all comes out okay in the end. That's a pun. Anyway, I can't get anyone's reaction tonight because I'm having internet problems, and my Zoom, all of the screens now except my own, are completely frozen. And I noticed the response off the mountain is about 3 seconds. So anyway, I wonder if the reason Costco is not selling cell phones is because of the dramatic decrease with COVID, the whole zero COVID thing, and the workers were revolting. I saw on the ever helpful internet here that China has now made a pivot on their zero COVID policy, but it's going to be interesting to see how that works out. because they have fewer hospital beds per capita than we do, which kind of surprised me. I would figure they'd have more. So it will take the percentage would take less of them to overwhelm their medical system than it would here. So anyway, I see Bob did put some information about the microphone. I'm interested in microphones. At one point I was asking for people to send me the dead earpods that didn't work anymore, just so I could dig the microphone out of it and play with them. I am absolutely amazed at the performance of these little tiny microphones that are in all of the gadgets, just how sensitive they can be. Most of them push right into like a LM386 amplifier or something, but it's just amazing what they can do. So I'm always interested in that kind of thing. And Bob, I don't remember all the antennas on the top of that tower D either, but I'm pretty sure most of them send or receive RF energy. So that's another help desk answer for you. Absolutely accurate and totally worthless. With that, this is James, WW7N in Northeast Bellevue. I'll go ahead and turn it back to Dave on net control, KD7ZYM.
7N, thanks for that. This is Dave, KD7ZYM in Lake City. Oh my, the Costco really kind of had a semi-contract with an outside organization to sell cell phones in the store and provide the sales of the cell phones themselves. And that contract was given up. That contract also was for military bases and PXs. And I guess that firm kind of went belly up, unfortunately, so we'll have to see what happens in the future. But anyway, unfortunately, ham radio will live again in the Costco realm without cell phones. So anyway, communication devices are still available on the market. Costco does have some fantastic satellite receivers for texting that you can get at Costco for under $300. I don't know what the service fee is on the use of them, but they're text only, and they're about the size of a half a pack of cigarettes, so Costco's selling those. Anyway, this is Dave, KD7ZYM in Lake City, and for Richard, if he's going to the Phoenix area, I know my experience in the Phoenix area that from about June to 1st of October, it's pretty warm down there. So outside of that, this is the perfect time to go visit right now, where the highs are in the mid-70 range, so you can enjoy that. I think for something like that, the warmth is supposed to be good for the body to heal, so you don't have to put a pile of blankets on top of you to stay warm if you're down there in the summertime. So there's a fringe benefit for that. And we hope Ron does get better. We know both he and his bride both had COVID this last summer, so at least that's ruled out at this point that it's not COVID, so maybe it's flu. But apparently the flu shots this year are supposed to be up to date and running about 85 to 90% effective, so that's good. If you had a flu shot sometime in the last couple of weeks, you should be in pretty good shape. So this is Dave, KD7ZYM in Lake City. So let's go back up to Ron, KD7QKU, and also I'm sure his bride will thank him for cleaning up the refrigerator for her. What a man, outstanding, without even asking him to take all of that effort to clean out the refrigerator so she wouldn't have to do that. So thank you, Ron. So let's go to Ron, KD7QKU.
KD7QKU again. Well, I tested Joanne on Friday morning to see if she had COVID, and I tested her on Monday. She tested negative both days. I haven't tested myself, but I probably will tomorrow. But anyway, that's it. I'm just going to listen. KD7QKU.
QKU. Let's go to Lee, N7KC.
Very good. And 7KC, Lee in Port Angeles. Apparently things are working. Well, Josh, yes, I'm sorry to hear that you and Joanne are under the weather, so to speak. We took an awful chance last Sunday. The Nutcracker that they do here, the ballet workshop, a big operation here in Port Angeles. They've got 100 students from Forks to, the whole northern peninsula. And it's really a no-nonsense thing, the operation. And they put on every year the Nutcracker. And then they bring in a couple of professional ballet dancers. And, it's a marvelous thing. It just is. They use all the kids in the workshop, and the color and everything, it's just wonderful. Well, they headed up to high school, Performing Arts Center, and we went on a Sunday matinee thinking that there wouldn't be very many people there, because they had the night before, they had the main performance. Wrong. The place was literally packed. So we were 1,200, maybe 1,100 to 1,200 people were in there. There wasn't an empty seat, sold out. And we wore our masks and so forth, but we were in there for 2 hours with those many people. And I don't know, 3 days. I haven't noticed anything yet. Paula hasn't either. Hopefully we'll skate by that one. But that was probably a silly thing to do. You know, we just kind of thought that on Sunday afternoon you'd just be kind of spotty, but it wasn't. We should have probably just turned around and walked out, but we didn't have the sense to do that. Cheaper, what else happened? I don't know, we took a walk around the block here today. Beautiful day. Tonight's calculation, where the moon is covering up Mars, and we don't have a chance here. I've checked, and we're just totally sucked in cloud-wise, so that isn't going to happen. See what else is coming up. I don't have anything else. I'm out of ammo. This is 7KC, Lee in Port Angeles. Back to you, Dave. Go ahead.
M7KC, thanks for that. Let's go to Bob, G9PQ, and learn a little bit more about radio programming.
Okay, well, I got myself switched in here, and need to minimize something, get it out of the way so I can see what I'm doing. This is the microphone here, the Audio-Technica AT2005 USB. So as I mentioned in the comments, it's got guts inside of it too. So this actually is a USB connection going up through the arm back to the computer directly. This is a little hard to see. Let me get out of the way. Oh, wrong direction. This other cable is a headphone cable. So I've got headphones here that plug directly into the microphone. So it's there are a lot of much more expensive. This is about $100. Much more expensive, much fancier headphones. But this one was recommended by the guy who runs this whole radio theater operation and gives really good voice quality, excellent voice quality, and has this ease of setup and ease of use by having the direct USB connection. It just simplifies things a lot. The arm itself is a Rode PSA-1 stands for Professional Studio Arm, and this has a cover over it. This is a PSA-2. The PSA-1 doesn't have this cover. This is just a newer model that came out this year. You can see there are two arms. There's a gap here, and you can see two arms there through that gap under the cover. And what that does is, let me turn the microphone so it's a little more obvious. You can move the arm up and down, and the microphone angle doesn't change. That's what the two arms do for you. They give you that effect to allow the angle It works really well. I tried making do with a desktop tripod with a long extension coming out, and it was wobbling and hard to stay up. I had to put weights on it. It was just a big pain. This clamps to the desk, does really well, and is quiet. The other one would transmit sounds from the desk into the microphone up through the tripod. This doesn't do that. Okay, back to that K9PQ.
K9PQ, well, thanks for the tour through your studio. That was very interesting. Let's go to Richard, K7ITX.
Well, that was a presentation that I had to pay attention to. So I guess I'll highlight well, we'll get, there's Pippa down there. We'll just make sure the star right now. Yeah, see, look at Pippa, everyone's looking at you tonight. Okay, there you go. So, oh gosh, Bob, I don't know, I'm kind of speechless. I mean, that microphone, you just have 10 million questions, and I don't even want to start because one will lead to another, and I won't be able to stop. I guess I wish I had one. And then maybe the very first question I would have is, how hard would it be to, hook it up so you could have a foot pedal and use it for 2-meter radio? I mean, I don't know. I would want to use that every time I even walk into the shack, I mean, it is really cool. So I'll just shut up. K7ITX, back to net control.
ITX, and time for an ID again. This is the Western Washington Amateur Television Society net on the 08 machine. I'm Dave, KD7CYM. Well, let's go to Jim, N7QO in Covington.
N7QO, thank you, Dave. Well, Dick, good to see Pippa back there. Haven't seen Pippa in a while. Usually Mika's been the object of attention. Bob, good-looking microphone. And I know just behind you I see our 70-centimeter antenna. I don't know for sure which one is the 23-centimeter antenna. Let's see, Ron, I know you're listening only. One of our guys, I'm not sure, but it may have been Bert, took 2 at-home COVID tests, and both of them were negative, and then he took a test at the local drugstore, and surprise, it was positive. So, I don't know, maybe, well, yeah, you guys have had COVID recently, though. I don't know how sensitive these at-home tests are to the newest strains. Perhaps it's a newest strain, or maybe something else. But I don't know. Hang in there, guy. I'll be praying for you, and Joanne. And Jim. Yeah, that was a really good thought that you had about Costco cell phone problems, shortages, and the situation in China. As a matter of fact, I heard that I believe Apple is going to stop production in China, so that may be part of the issue as well. Anyway, things are changing. We'll have to wait and see what's going to happen. Back to you, Dave, N7QO.
N7QO, let's go to James, WU7N.
Okay, Dave, KD7ZYM, this is WU7N in Northeast Bellevue, thank you. Well, yeah, we do live in interesting times here, and tonight's trivia question is, what does, I put it in the comments, but it's a little out there now. What does, you now know how to say sensational, but what does it mean? So anyway, thank you very much for the microphone tour. I actually copied that down, put it in my notes, just so I would have that down so I won't have to bother you again should I ever wish to acquire one. It looks like an excellent setup there. And I tell you, making one of those arms is not an easy thing. I have an arm on a magnifier on my bench in my garage, and as you use it, your head, you don't realize it, but you just keep getting closer and closer and closer because the arm is slowly sinking on you. So I guess looking at the 1.2, I guess I am totally frozen there also. I definitely seem to be having some internet problems tonight. Last time I did a ping set, several of the pings just sort of up and died on me. So the most recent ping I just did, at least they all came through with about 91 milliseconds for an average time. So I don't know what's maybe the local client here on the computer is completely overwhelmed. I'm not sure what's going on there. I'll try and make it to the top of the hour. This is WW7N. Let's turn back to Dave, our net control KD7ZYM.
KD7ZYM, this is Dave. KD7ZYM in Lake City. Let's see. James with the microphone that's sinking. What was that old German verge? What are you sinking when it came to a submarine or a ship? Sinking on the radio communications. And the German radio operator came back. What are you sinking? What type of ship are you? Not what are you thinking? But anyway, such is life for that. And let's see. Also in the news, the last 747 came out of the plant up in Everett, the last commercial, all one plane. I go back to when that first 747 came out for a maiden flight, and I shot that for Movietone News and ABC Network News, and had pictures of it taking off and landing. So wow. All that happened during my lifetime, so I thought that was pretty impressive to remember all of that. So this is Dave, KD7ZYM. So let's see, I'll turn it back up to Ron, KD7QKU.
7QKU. Yeah, that was a nice microphone, Bob. Well, I'm not going to say much more. I'll just pass it on over to whoever, KD7QKU.
Let's go to Lee, N7KC, Port Angeles.
Okay, N7KC, Lee in Port Angeles. I gotta mute that YouTube. Okay, nice mic, Bob. That really is. That's a good looking rig. I'm out of ammo. I just don't have anything else to say. So, I'll just say, good to see you all, and I'm just going to sit back and enjoy the rest of that. Back to you, Dave, in 7KC.
7KC, let's go to Bob, K9PQ.
Here we go. Yeah, I gotta save it now. Get myself switched in. There we go. Yeah, the mic works out really well. You know, I've thought about that, Richard, but, ham radio is wanting a very specific audio spectrum, and the mics are made for that. The mics that come with their rigs are made for that. I'm not sure how well it would match up with a 2-meter rig, or even for that matter HF. But for what it's made for is like Zoom and podcasting or not podcasting, like YouTube videos and things like that. I suppose podcasting as well. But the thing that really just sets it apart aside from the fact that you can spend $500 and up on a microphone these days. At $100, it's not cheap, but it's not into that outrageous category. And I'm only going to buy it once, so I figured I got really good advice from this guy of which microphone to get, and it works great. I've been using it for a couple of years now. Basically, since COVID started, that's when we started doing radio theater individually from our own homes. I used to drive once a month up to Mount Vernon, and we all went into a studio at a community college radio station and recorded it live. Now, I guess I said I would talk about the technology a bit more. I need to look up the names of the actual tools, but he's got one tool where he gets separate audio stream from each of us coming into him. He hears all of us, we only hear him. And then they're all being recorded all the time, but then he just mutes each of us as needed, so that if we make a noise or something when we shouldn't, when we don't have a part or when we shouldn't be talking, he can just mute that out. And so with every person having their own channel, it makes everything a lot smoother for him. And then he has other really fancy tools where he even can adjust the pause between what people are saying. He can move them around in time so that it sounds natural. Because we think we sound natural, as we're talking, but apparently it doesn't sound natural. He said it gets kind of mechanical, you just automatically take in a certain pause after the other person's line, and then you do your line. I guess I can kind of see that, especially if we're remote, because we can't actually play off each other like you would in a stage play, for instance. And so he said, yeah, it's definitely necessary, and then he adjusts levels and other sorts of things, and also it takes out things, background noises, things that I don't even notice. They're very low level background noises that can be there coming in over the microphone, and he has special tools for getting all that out as well. It's quite a production. Anyway, that's good for now. Send it back to that, and it sounds like it's probably 73 time for me, so 73 everybody, K9PQ.
WW7ATS.
Bob, thanks again for the whole description of what's going on with your radio club altogether. Geez, that sounds really like a lot of fun. I can understand, why, or the impedance, or whatever you want to call the mismatch between the digital scenario versus the 2-meter rigs, and the frequencies are just way different. I don't know, maybe if you're still around later, I thought I heard you say $100. Maybe, I don't know if you said that, so I'll just wait. I'm not going to even comment. And then let's see. Okay, we're almost down to the wire here. Basically, I don't really have much of a chance in fantasy football. I'm kind of bummed out. Believe it or not, my sister and brother-in-law are running the show as far as having the best, getting everything set up for the playoffs. So I called my brother-in-law, and he needs a quarterback, and I have Patrick Mahomes, and I'm not really in the playoffs. So I made a little deal with him to get into the playoffs. I said, hey, I'll tell you what, how about if you let me have your very best running back and wide receiver for this week, so I can beat your wife, my sister. We are both in the playoffs, I guarantee you, and I promise on a stack of Bibles, you can have my quarterback, and I'll figure out sister heard. So, K7ATS and 73, everybody. Back to net control.
And let's go to Jim, N7QO.
N7QO. Thank you, Dave. Dick, what a schmoozer. Well, good luck with that anyway. Let's see. Dave, yeah, last 747 rolling out. Thanks for mentioning that. I saw that on television. Wow. Perhaps the end of an era. I know that airplane is still very popular overseas. I went to a whole bunch of different places where you could easily see 25 or 30 of them all lined up. I wonder what's going to happen as those airframes age. Perhaps, I don't know, perhaps Boeing will come up with something else or resume production a decade or so down the road. Then I also thought it was the end of an era when the Concorde was retired, but a couple of companies are actually working on some sort of supersonic airliner right now. My memory isn't quite as good as it used to be. It seems to me Airbus either discontinued or is thinking hard about discontinuing the Airbus 380. That airplane had some other issues, though. It could not go in and out of every airport. It was restricted to fewer airports than even the 747. And, let's see, reset. And Bob, your studio, technology of your studio sounds a little bit like a foreign language class studio, which I've taken in the past. Interesting. They could hear everyone, they could record everyone, and mix and match selectively. Speak to individuals. Interesting. I didn't know that you were involved in that, or if I did know it, I forgot it, in which case I apologize. Anyway, I don't think I had anything else to mention. Back to you, Dave, N7QO.
N7QO, thanks for that. And I guess it's time to start wrapping up the net for the evening. This is the Western Washington Amateur Television Society net. We'd like to thank the SeaTac Repeater Association for allowing us to use WW7STR's repeater 147.08 with a tone of 103.5 for our voice transmissions for our nets held on Wednesdays and Saturdays between 8 and 9 o'clock. So on behalf of the Western Washington Amateur Television Society, this is Dave, KD7ZYM, signing off the net at 9 o'clock. Good evening all.